The Salvation of the Wild Woman, The Freedom of the Modern Woman. Byline: The she-wolf awakened is a beautiful, loving, creative soul that heals both the inner workings of men and women and also the voice of generations. The book Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarrissa Pinkola Estes frees the modern woman by telling her that she still has time, that it's not too late to listen to her intuition, that feeling of deadness and numbness should not and does not have to overpower her life. As a patient of depression and anxiety, it was very liberating to read, even when mental health was just becoming part of mainstream awareness in 2008 in London, that this was not something to be ashamed of and feel self-conscious about. There was a light at the end of the tunnel, and as women, we could support and help other women to come out of this mental abyss. I remember this book over any others that I'd ever read, as Clarissa has a gentle, storytelling, coaxing sort of way to wake us up to our own strength and power as women. She can, however, be accused of commodification of feminism, especially in America in the age of capitalism. With Bluebeard and the Dancing Shoes, she tells us the scary and devastating aftermath of not listening to our intuition in time. Trying to escape when it's too late costs the women their lives and limbs. I can see how she's trying to resurrect the crone in each of us, telling us how nurturing our inner child and the inner old woman can make us happy, contented, and more peaceful individuals. The book can sound self-obsessive and narcissistic in some ways, as Clarissa focuses a lot on the voice and independence of the ancient and wild and modern woman again and again. But for me, that repetition seems essential, as we are all or mostly so out of touch with our own inner worlds. Only by shaking and jolting us repeatedly through ways that seem archaic and idiosyncratic can she truly get her point and book across. I don't see Clarissa as a feminist, as she's too naive, innocent, and organic in her attitude to qualify as someone who is simply and straightforwardly political or social. An activist who is a path breaker and a social reformer is not her. She has stories that are like lullabies to the soul, comforting and nourishing us with myth, folklore, and tales of the subconscious to be truly seen as a disruptive, bra-burning feminist. Like in this paragraph, Clarissa says, when she has assembled the skeleton, she sits by the fire and thinks about what song she will sing. And when she is sure, she raises her arms over the creature, opens her mouth, and sings out. To open the door to the deepest chamber of the psyche is to risk seeing what we do not wish to see. Clarissa goes deeper into the profound nature of female and male existence and is way more gentle with her analysis, surgical methods, and tools. Within every woman there is a wild and natural creature, a powerful force filled with good instincts, passionate creativity, and ageless knowing. Clarissa is too soul-involved to worry about the patriarchal bent of societies or violence and wars happening throughout centuries. She waits before blaming men for everything, be it the decline of female participation in societies in the Middle Ages or the early 20th century during the Industrial Revolution. Her whole focus is on looking within, that without. For these reasons, comparing her to feminists and feminism is like comparing chalk and cheese. I learned repeatedly that threats or rape, destruction, suffocation, and torture do not faze the woman whose psyche is awakened and who she is always faithful to in her bold, unapologetically spiritual life. The book is beautiful, cautionary, maternal, and very optimistic when it comes to preservation of the voice of both women and men and their ability to rise and be resilient like a phoenix from the ashes. As she fearlessly says, society will continue to make the same mistakes it has made 1,000 times before in its self-destruction, as long as both women and men continue to suppress and disregard the wise old woman in them, and finally wake up to the realization that whatever's in your mind is what you attract, outside your mind too. Clarissa says, now you know how to play the flute the right way and strum the guitar to produce the melodies it was supposed to create. That's the reason she talks so urgently and fervently about freeing the shackles that the psyche of the modern woman finds herself in. Summarizing, she says it's high time we embrace the entire iceberg, not just the tip of it. Reading this book, when I was suffering from my own demons and nightmares, was a hearty gift unlike any other I had ever received before. It made me more confident as a woman, and I was able to embody the authority and maturity through the therapy I was receiving fully. Settings. Use appropriate media.